this computer. All right. Yenge kieno, mbote, mbote. Hello, YouTube. We are back again. This is the fourth meeting of the English group. And we are going to continue sharing the building of the Federation, dreams and visions from our president. And we are going to continue learning introductions of Kikongo. These are not official languages of Kikongo. This is not the official class. This is just teases, little introductions, not the official classes. The official classes have not started, but definitely have your notebook. So when we learn new terminology, we can, so when the classes start, we'll be ahead and we'll be able to go forward. Some of us have already started learning Kikongo, and that's a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to find a presentation so that you can see what we have. We have a whole lot of things for today. There we go. That is it. Give me a second to put it on presentation mode. Yenge, to our viewer who just came in, who are there, International Federation of the Descendants of the Kongo Kingdom. This is the English-speaking group. Last week, we had the Spanish-speaking group, and we have a beautiful sister here who is supporting us while we do the same presentation. Well, no, the presentation in English is ahead of the one in Spanish. So welcome, Gizambote. Gizambote to everybody that's welcome in Kikongo. And beautiful things, beautiful things. All right. So here is our greetings from Mfumoyo. Yenge to all of you in the name of Tatan Sambi and our ancestors. Peace, love, wishes of peace and love. Okay. Similar from last week, we'll reread this quickly. The vision of the Federation derives from the humanitarian idea to end the moral suffering of the Kikongo descendants scattered and isolated throughout the world of our ancestral lands by providing identity, unity, through identity and unity through culture and rapprochement, through the reestablishment of historical, spiritual, and identity bonds broken by slavery and colonization. So we are reversing the negative. We are reversing the negative. We were scattered through slavery and colonization. We are going to reverse that. We're coming together on this Zoom chat. And then you guys are going to see how the Federation can bring us all together. The main objective is to promote reconciliation and unity to develop a sense of belonging. We read this last week, but for those viewers who are new and who haven't seen this, this is what we're about. Universal Kongo brotherhood within the Federation to live together through a culture of peace and love. Become familiar with the vision. Today, you're going to see more of the vision than you did last time. Yenge, welcome to those who just came in. I hear your ding. Its purpose is to understand its objectives. We're going to understand more of the objectives. I have a little more diagrams to show you. And we're going to learn the Kikongo culture through vocabulary and proverbs. Last week was kiaku kiaku kiangana kiangana or kiaku kiaku kiangani kiangani. Today, we have a new proverb. And each proverb has a lesson with it. That's the cool thing. I'm admiring this about the vision. Okay, so we have what's called the launch, project launch, and we have the administrative organizational structure of FIDRK. So many of you are like, what is this all about? So now we're going to learn more. It's little by little. The purpose is to give you little by little because it's intense. It's a lot. It's if we were to give you all in one chunk, it might be overwhelming. And even the bit that you might see today might be a bit overwhelming, but we'll have a review. Here's a review. So this is about the structure. What you're seeing right here, this will end up being after the Federation is legalized. Right now, we're not official, but this is a small sample of how it'll be. So DRC is one country, and we want to have a governing body in each of these countries. So imagine the entire globe has over 100 and something countries. So imagine 100 circles around, and each one of them won't be just members. This is not an example of members. So there'll be a central governing body, but the membership is going to be within each country. So we are kind of seeing we're seeing the vision ahead. Right now, we're just gathering in WhatsApp. And what we need is to have people who are willing to be these representatives in each of these nations. Even in the United States, some might say, well, I'm the one in the United States. No, that hasn't been official. The vision is to make us a legal and official group through a 501c3 status. And so when you see this, you might have a better idea of how we're going to legally operate. So we're not just going to be a WhatsApp group. And we're not just going to be a group that meets in Zoom, but we're actually going to have you're basically watching the birth of a nation without walls. Una nación sin paredes. All right, so now, each of these countries that I was kind of using as an example, these are representing stakeholders. When it gets to the level of a nonprofit, you have to have stakeholders, and that's what these will be. And then in the middle is a CDP, that would be the acronym for French. I didn't change it, but it will be PSC, which is Project Steering Committee. It's not an organization that runs as a totalitarianship. It's not going to be an organization that runs when the man on top and the people on the bottom. This is temporary for the purpose of 501c3. Project launch is a democratic process. So when we get what we need, it's going to be a democracy. It's not going to be like Mfumo Moyo says this, so that's what we're going to do. No, we're going to set ourselves up to have negotiations of how to run ourselves. So those negotiations will take place. Let me go back. It'll be between the steering committee and the stakeholders.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
With this, is this gearing us to go back to Congo, or this is just gearing everybody to where they are now?
So the idea of repatriation, going back to Congo, is also fits in the group. So it's going to be more than, so all the other groups, like I know there's I won't name the YouTubers, but there's different people organizing trips to the Congo and things that will come within this. The Federation encompasses all those projects. Going back, even those who never go, they will be learning kikongo, learning the culture. So basically, it's a federation, which is what's different with those other individual groups. So basically, someone who wants to repatriate is going to be a small part of what this is. This is encompassing everything. People are going to go back and forth, and there will be the teachings of the culture all through this nation, the United States, all through. So let's take the country of, our sister is here from Esmeraldas, Ecuador. In Ecuador, there will be a federation part of the federation will set up. So just like you see, well, I'll say Angola, for example. No, I'll use Colombia because that's a Latino country. The diaspora in Colombia will run the organization there. And then as a project, we will go visit the motherland. Some may want to stay. If they stay, they can join. If they say, for example, Colombians visit Angola and they say, that's it, this is my home, they'll just join the Angolan group, and we'll still stay as one large group. Now I'm summarizing big time, but there's so many projects within this. It's like schools, universities. She was talking earlier, it was in Spanish, but she was talking about they already have a dance group. So we'll have, when I say dance, folkloric dances, and the dances are very spiritual because through the dance, you get the culture as well. So we're going to learn how all this is going to work. And we're not, we don't have just one project, we have several projects. And repatriation is one of many projects. I don't know if that answers the question. So local national committees, which are stakeholders. So what you just saw was a picture of the local national committees. So even though Gabon is a nation, it's a local committee within the huge thing. So that's one local national, these are the stakeholders. Everybody will be involved in how the ideas to repatriate. So say, for example, I'm just pulling this right off the top of my head. Say, for example, you work with teenagers and you want them to know their motherland. So that could be a whole separate project, bringing the youth back to Angola or bringing the youth to the DRC. But as far as the Federation is concerned, Angola, DRC, Gabon, all those are now separate countries, which once used to be one single kingdom. And so we're going to work on calling ourselves a kingdom again, or a federation is the better word, because federation is global, whereas kingdom is just, federation is all encompassing. So the federation is going to gobble up everything and we'll be one people again. And let me see if I can go forward. So when we go through the bylaw, when we go through federating ourselves and becoming a nonprofit, it involves a lot. To be a legal nonprofit, you have to have bylaws, articles of incorporation. The first two requires us having an attorney. If we're a legal organization, so in other words, if we operate as we are without the legal status of the Federation, we'll have lots of limits. If we become a 50, not if, when we become a 501c3, travel will be easier. We'll be able to say, for example, you want to go to the motherland and you want to work. You want to start an agricultural business or you want to start a printing business. Through this 501c3 and becoming legal, you'll have an easier time going through customs. There are some YouTubers who I won't name because I'm not a part of those groups, but they have already done this and they actually have a name for themselves in their and that was done in the same way. But the vision that was given to Mfumu Moyo didn't come from watching other groups. He literally had an encounter with the Most High, and the Most High gave him all this vision. And I'm just trying my best to dilute it so that we can go little by little. We're going to have a logo. Like you see that flag, we're going to actually have a discussion on should it be that flag. So when it says internal discussions, that will be amongst ourselves. We'll come up with our own anthem, our own logo. We'll have these, all of these, there'll actually be more, at least 12 items that has to go through and go through approval of an attorney, some of them. And then once the attorney proves that, we can battle this on our own. So that's just a sample. But what I'm basically showing you guys is a sample, but it's actually very real. It's going to be legalizing itself in the near future. But we need the stakeholders. We need people. So it's hard to communicate all this in the WhatsApp group. This Zoom meeting is an attempt to bring it all so you can actually see it without, because WhatsApp is limited as far as how
So that means it's a possibility of a lot of this is needing financial to put some of this into motion, correct?
Exactly. But when we get that on the ground, then we can create our own finances. So that's another part of the Federation. The Federation can create its own finances and not depend on finances from the outside. So as creative people that Tatanzambi made us, we will create and generate our own ways to come up with this. And through a 501c3, now you have the ability to be a, I don't want to say a business because it's nonprofit, but it is still a business. And then now you can go out and do fundraising, some people do t-shirts, some people do write books, some people write plays. There's a lot of artists in this group. The Latino group is loaded with performers. This one woman here is a performer, and they go all over the world. One of our members is actually in Italy right now doing the performance, and they are already an Afro community, but they've joined the Federation. So what they're already doing is going to federate within. So we're going to keep encompassing. The mission is to find Congos all over the earth. And once we find them, they become a part of us, because the curse was the scattering of us. When we come together, now we're strengthened again. So now it's not an individual, because all of them, like last week, they had a long, it was a long meeting, but everybody was excited because they kept sharing their ideas. We do this. We did in Brazil, we do that. We had Brazilians, we had Angolans, we had Italians from Ecuador, we had Colombians, a bunch of people were in there. And then the Latino group blew up. It just blew up. There's like over 60 people now. It started off like the English group of 30, and now there's over 60. And of those 60, they want to keep adding people. So by the end of the month, it might be near 100 people, because they're all doing here's the thing though, they're all doing their little bitty projects. We're doing our thing over here. We're doing this. We do dancing. We do repatriation. We do agriculture. What if we come into one big group? And so now we're a federation to become one encompassing group. So that's the idea. And we're going to legalize it to make us all official. So
okay, by legalizing it, as far as the United States government go, how would
how we keep them from meddling?
right
I know exactly what you're saying. There are
or trying to throw or sabotage.
Exactly. So within our
501c3, I'm like, that's
right. You're smelling, that's what I thought. I was thinking there's going to be a lot of meddling with the United States. But what I found out in trying to do one on my own, there's a lot of areas, especially in the name of culture, that we can get away with a lot of stuff culturally. When I say get away with, I shouldn't say it like that, but we will be able to operate culturally. There's people that are actually already doing something similar. A man in New York going far with, oops, I got too far ahead of myself. He went far with the Kongo culture, and not even a Bakongo, but in the Kongo culture. I won't get into that because I don't want to throw people off with Kongo with a C and Kongo with a K. We're talking about Kongo with a K, but there's a lot that can be done with this that has not there. So in other words, the United States government won't be meddling in the sense of interrupting, because especially if you're talking about agriculture, there's nothing threatening about that. Dancing, nothing threatening about that. Language, learning a language. So under the preamble of the Federation, which you can actually find in the WhatsApp groups, I was trying to make awareness of that. I don't know if I left that message in our English group, but the preamble is actually already written. And under the 4 axes, we can definitely do a nonprofit and have no meddling whatsoever. So it's like, if you think of a nation, people can do what they want within the nation. There's people who are devil worshipers. I don't want to say it like that. There's people who do their little thing. In the Federation, the idea here is to bring everybody in. Just gather Yah's people.
Okay.
And then later, the spirituality part, that's going to come later. And there's individuals that he's already looking at to bring in spirituality. But even through spirituality, they don't, because the definition of a ethnicity or a culture is to have a spirituality, a language. So we have all that. We qualify for 501, and that will entitle us. It could entitle us to money, or give us the license to create funds without the meddling.
Got it.
Yeah. I'm learning this as I'm going along. And I ask all the same questions. United States government, say what, dude? Like,
Right, because
yeah, we know how it is in the United States.
right.
They want to put their claws in everything, but so much attention is being put to, especially since events like police brutality and stuff, and they have groups, all them groups, Somebody's Lives Matters, I'll say it like that. That's a nonprofit. So they're used, and I won't say anything negative or positive about that group. I'm not saying I'm a fan or not a fan, but they're actually able to make those parades and protests because the money of a 501 is giving them the lift to be able to do it and organize more people quicker. Let me read this to make sure I'm saying everything properly. After negotiations between stakeholders and steering committee, a general assembly will officially be elected as a governing body. So right now there's not a general assembly, but if you look at that little, so in this little slide, there's a little square on the top. But the square on the top, the squares are drawn evenly, and there's not a big square versus little squares, so it's not punitive. The general bodies, which would be where the arrow is, and then the members underneath, everybody's going to be involved in making the nation. So no one will be over one another, so to speak. There won't be a president, even though we're using the name president. It's very democratic. After elections, the permanent elected governing body will run the Federation, and its members will fit in a structure below, so that little below, to manage the Federation versus be told what to do. Mfumo Moyo said this, so get in line. What? No, so we're not doing it like that. I'm doing my own little animation. I was intrigued to learn how we're going to operate. So there's a big picture. So say there's the governing body in the middle. And then around we have, so where I put the word permanent governing body, this is a side view. I have to move, oh, sorry, there we are. So the permanent governing body on the top and the members there under, so they're below, but they're not less important, I guess, if that's the way to say it. I'm going the wrong way. So back here, managing members will be the outer part of the circle. It's just an aerial view. So elected, so this is the steering committee is in the middle, where you see that one person, but the steering committee is not one person. It's just an image. This is the best we could do to find a good representation of how that is. So you have a steering committee and the elected body, they'll go back and forth to come up with something, and then they'll take it to the managing members and say, what do you guys think? And if somebody says, hey, you know what, in Ecuador, this would be better for us there. So they go back and forth and negotiate until they come up with new laws, new projects, everything that we mentioned here. All this stuff will be going back and forth. Oh, someone will come up with a logo. Well, what if you move that to the left, to the right? So it's all going to be negotiated. Everything will be negotiated. It says discussion, but negotiations until we come up with something that we all like. Okay, so there's that. I'm moving forward. So there's the side view of this. So this side view would be that. So if you look at that side, that's like taking a side view. And of course, it changed into squares here, but imagine those were the circles from the previous diagram. All right, so I'm going to try to read this. Unlike the image presented in previous meetings, which blah, blah, blah. the administrative organizational structure of FIDRK. The hierarchy of working relationships exists between actors at different levels of administration on the international, regional, and sub-regional and national scale. This draft vision will be proposed by its designer, Mfumu Moyo. So Mfumu Moyo is just proposing to the steering committee, which will be established to debate, deliberate, and possibly approve the content. And by no means will Mfumu Moyo say, that's it, this is what it is, bam, except it will always be negotiated. This apparently complex structure is dedicated by the diversity and geographical distribution of Kongo communities scattered to the four corners of the planet. And version of complete. Okay, so everything's going to go for approval. All right. We've gone through. I'm checking myself on the agenda. Greetings. We didn't introduce ourselves. The vision and the history project. So I jumped. We're going to go back and introduce ourselves real quick. It's designed to help you visualize. So that international organizational structure is just to help you visualize it. Because if you just say it without the visual, it might be hard to understand. Okay, so let me go back because we learned some things last week. Yenge, bote, kyaku, kyaku, kyangana, kyangana. Or it can also be pronounced kyaku, kyaku, kyangani, kyangani. And then we learned kyambote kyaku, kyambote kieno. So that's what we learned so far. I'm going to stop this share and have us just, for the 8 of us, there's 8 people in the chat. We'll just get to know each other real quick. So the goal is say your name, your country of origin, and where you are. Name, country of origin, and where you are. I will start. Mono Ikana Nkembi Madia, Mono Mushi America. So I said that in Kikongo. I am Kana Nkembi Madia. My Kikongo speakers can correct me. There's another way to say it. I can say Nkumbuaku. I mean, Nkumbuame Kana. Nkumbuaku means your name. And Mono Mushi America. My name is Kana, and I am from America. I live in the United States of America, and I am in the state of Massachusetts. So I'm talking to you from Massachusetts, New England. All right, who's next? I picked Tony.
Yeah. My name is Valuala.
Valuala.
Valuala Kavameniko.
Kavameniko.
I come from Kongo, Kinshasa.
Yes.
And
yes, perfect.
And come from Kongo, Kinshasa. And je suis maintenant.
I am now. I live now.
Hello.
Yes, and you're living in Kinshasa?
Hello. My English is poor in English.
It's okay. You are.
I speak French.
Okay. Dis-le en français. Dis en français.
It comes from Kongo Kinshasa. Yeah. Voilà.
Perfect. Yes.
École na Belgium.
Belgium. Oh, you're in Belgium right now.
Between Brussels and Liège.
Yes. Also, you are from DRC, but now you are in Belgium.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
All right.
There you go. This nice. You got Europe in the house. All right. I'm going to say to you in Kikongo, Ntomane yangala la muna kumona.
Toma yangala, merci.
I told him nice to meet you in Kikongo. All right, next. Name, country, and where you live. Name, country, where you live.
Mais le
Yes.
volume est diminué comment ça?
Hi, Yenge.
Yenge.
I'm Patrice,
Le
and I
volume est
live
au fond.
outside of the United States,
La barre est au fond.
and I reside in California.
Ntomene yanga la muna kumuna.
Enke Ote, Akuyelo Minsambi. I reside in Pennsylvania / Baltimore, Maryland. I'm in and out of both.
Ntomene yanga la muna kumuna. Okay. Mizele.
Yenge Keno Babo.
Yenge.
Mon nom est Zele. It come out Congo, Brazzaville, and Congo Kinshasa because my land is just between Albay to get a country, and now I live in Belgium.
Belgium.
Africa, I live in Belgium. Yes.
Ntomene yanga la muna kumuna.
My turn.
Okay. Hermano Allison, your name, your country, and where you live.
Yenge. My name
Yenge.
is Allison, United States, and I'm right now in Brooklyn, New York.
Wepa! New York in the house. Well, closer to this side of the nation. Ntomene yanga la muna kumuna. Ntomene yanga la. Hermana Jacqueline, ¿puedes presentarnos a usted? ¿Puedes presentarse? She might have gone a little while. Well, I'll tell you in English. Her name is Jacqueline. She just joined us she is from Esmeraldas, Ecuador. English is not her language, so you guys don't feel bad about the English, because English is a second language of a lot of people. And I appreciate the fact that other people from other language groups in the Federation are joining us. And even you guys who come to the Spanish group, that's amazing. Sister Patrice holding it down. We're going in the Spanish group. Like, we don't know what's going on, but I'm here. I'm representing. So this is awesome. That shows that we're a family. So the fact that she's come to our English speaking group, that's a family. That's a sense. That's what we're trying to bring back. Let's get rid of the languages. Kikongo is going to help us do that and be one. We will be one through Kikongo. And we're going to learn the culture at the same time, which is what I think is amazing. I'll just tell you a quick story, not a story, but a synopsis. Is it possible to learn a language and not the culture? Yes, I've had students that I've taught. I'm a Spanish teacher, if you guys didn't know. I've been teaching Spanish for 28 years, and it's not an easy job. And I had a student speak Spanish very well, very well. But when we came to learn the culture and the dances and the food, didn't want nothing to do with any of the people and didn't even like the people. But the irony was he could speak Spanish so well. And I was just like, he speaks so well, but he hates the culture and the people. How is this possible? So when we learn Kikongo, we're going to learn the culture together with the language. So this is what's nice. I am going to go back to our share so we can get back to seeing what the vision is. All right, let's get to talking. All right, be willing to kind of repeat. If you have your notebook, this is what we're writing down. Let me look at what's in the chats. Few people wrote. Yes, hoy es el clase de inglés y el 26 es para el español. Exactamente. So next week, 26 is our Spanish speaking group. All right, so we got these things down. And those of you who already took Kikongo, have been studying, you may already know this. Yenge, mbote, these are greetings. So you can say it means hi, but it actually doesn't. Yenge means peace and love, peace or love. Joy, actually, peace or joy. Mbote is anything good, beauty, goodness. So loving the Kikongo language for greeting somebody with a word that's beautiful. Hey, beautiful. Imagine somebody says, instead of saying hi, they say beautiful. It's like kind of like that. And then our last proverb was kiaku kiaku, kiangana kiangana. Kiaku kiaku, kiangana kiangana. And we learned that that means what's yours belongs to you, and what belongs to him or her or others belongs to others. It's almost like saying, if you were to teach a child not to steal, you can use this proverb to say, kiaku kiaku, kiangana kiangana. That belongs to you, but that does not belong to you. So we're learning how to give a moral lesson to children. So any of you who have access to children, you can use this proverb. And we also learn kiambo te kiaku, kiambo te kienu. Greetings to one person and greetings to a plural. Do you guys want to try that out with each other? You want to greet one person and then try greeting the group. So in this group, I'm seeing on the screen 5 faces, 4 faces. If I were to say, hi, I would choose, kiambo te kienu. That's what I would say to everybody, right? Kiambo te kienu. Hey, everybody. But if I just was going to talk to my brother, Tony, I would say, hey, mpangi Tony, kiambo te kiaku. That's one person. So kiambo te kiaku to one. But if I say, Brother Allison, Sister Jacqueline, kiambo te kienu, everybody, whoa, what's up, all of y'all? Kiambo te kienu. One person, kiambo te kiaku. More than one, kiambo te kienu. Kiambo te kienu, kiambo te kiaku. Kiambo te kienu, one person. Kiambo te kiaku. 3 or more people, more than one person. So that's that. Okay. So kiambo te kienu. All right, let me go back here. All right, the proverb of the day is Wadiambari. Can you help, Brother Tony? Mayela mpimpa. Did I say it correct? Correct?
Wajapari mayela mpimpa.
Yes. Wadiapari mayela mpimpa. Is it better?
Yes. It's better.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm learning, we're learning. You guys try that phrase. And if you have your notebook, write it down. Wadiampari mayela mpimpa. Wadiampari mayela mpimpa. And you guys, Kikongo speakers, help. Wadiampari mayela mpimpa. Wadiampari mayela mpimpa. Yes?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Ntondele. Mpiaukidi. Mpiaukidi kikilu. Okay, so here is a sample. Let's see how close I got. This right here is an audio. I'm going to put this in our WhatsApp chat. So you guys won't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I have to go back to the YouTube. Let's see. So this pronunciation is going to be just like our brothers, our Mpangi, our Mbutas, who are here to help us with the Kikongo. All right, this is an online recorder. Okay, so that was the recording. We'll have a better one. Okay. Can you guys still see the screen? Okay, and you're probably thinking, what does that mean? Okay, so there it is. Bigger. You guys can take a screenshot of that. And that's again was the link. That's our proverb of the day. So let's try to memorize this before the next meeting. But what does it mean? Okay, so I got, I'm going to go back. This is a definition. Oh, I jumped ahead of myself. we have two examples of how popular the Kikongo language is. I'm going to come back to Wadiampari Mayelam Pimpa. In this, we have a man. He's speaking Kikongo and he's not a Congo. And I think the variant is Ladi. But let's listen to him speak Kikongo. Hopefully this will inspire you so you don't feel like you can't do it. I believe both of these are Americans. I'm not sure about the two women. So we're going to listen to a man speaking Kikongo and the two women speaking Kikongo. Actually, I'll do the two women first because they're using a phrase. I think they're going to use the phrase mbote. So let's listen to them. You might laugh, but it's funny. But it's fun to learn languages. Let's laugh with it. So let's take a look at these ladies. Give me a second. I hope I'm not being prevented. Oh, it's behind here. Oh, wait a minute. We can't hear them. I gotta turn them. Their volumes up. Oh. Does it want me to log into Facebook? Oh my goodness. I think it wants me to log in Facebook. Let me put the stop share on there. All right. Give me a second while I get that up there. Let me see if let me play the other one so I don't waste our time. Let me see if I can get the man, because that's a YouTube video. The women speaking Kikongo is a Facebook video. This one is a YouTube video. See if we got him. Let me know if you guys can hear.
Today, we're introducing the next chapter of Notion AI. It's called Q&A.
Can you guys hear that? Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to keep playing. Listen to this. Oh, the video is 13 minutes, but we're not going to watch all 13 minutes. But just to give you an example of this man speaking in Kikongo. I believe it's Kiladi, but I'm not sure. And the title in French, Un Américain qui parle, an American that speaks Kikongo with Pastor Patrick. Ah, I think my French is getting better. No, it's not. I think because avec means with the pastor. So anyways, it's a pastor and he's so impressed with this guy speaking Kikongo.
Magkakabang Okilanga, Budatualo, Gisino, Hotel, Mudiamo di fête di anniversaire di Budalema. Chiesa Tambona, Mudiamo, Situ Yambila, Situ Binoa, Situ Dia, Kiseko, che Situ Kinampi. Mambo mena. Yes, Gibeni, Mudiamo, Tumodeni, Tatamkuka, Tutayambila, Monandingan, si. Tayangala Muniaka, Tayangala, Kibini, Kies. Di Tata, Fonderi Puna Pari, Otawa, Oteaku, Colele, Uncle di Fiotica. Si tu tankici, Udamri Camarade, Udalema. Lungis 60 ans, Nagi. Si tu tankici, Udibay. Yari kaka, Gekulen Kalakoko. Oh, mambo. Okay, Tata, hey. That is the one I'm be.
Okay, so you guys get the idea. That man was speaking Kikongo and not obviously not a native speaker. So we got the idea of anybody can speak Kikongo, but why not us? Why not the actual descendants of the Kongo Kingdom? So let's let that motivate us, not to let us make it. I know a group of people who got angry when they saw that. How dare they speak our language? Everybody can speak a language. It's free. It's open. And then this group, the Kongo Federation, anybody can learn and be a part of this federation if you adopt. That's the key word.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, yeah. You adopt the culture, you can be in the federation.
Lenyo mbuta nani lobala mbuta nete mbuka apesi programme te donc dimanche ko ya faut que to salam.
Oh, he's talking. Okay, let me go back to he probably doesn't know his mic is highlighted.
I understand you're saying that it's opening up to everybody, but I mean, my thing of it is why can't we have something to our own? Why we always have to bring some other nation in with us who we don't really know, and we don't know their background. We don't know if they CIA. We don't know if they federal government. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm listening. It's like a lot of things that has to be thought about and thought of.
Exactly. So this is my thought of, because I had the same concerns. My thought about it is this: prophecy is being fulfilled, and Tatansambi is using the Federation. I believe that supernaturally, anyone who's not for us will be spiritually weeded out.
Right. Okay.
So that's my thought on it, because I was concerned. It's like, wow, this is, geez.
Because
I can't speak the way that guy was speaking Kikongo. And of course, obviously, he's either a pastor or a missionary.
Been trying to come together in some groups, and things started out good, and then it just fell apart, and people started being exposed for who they are, and you know, you get to a point, and I'm just speaking from me,
from the heart, exactly.
Right. And speaking from the heart, you just get tired.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like starting all over again. Then you got to get to know these, you know, people all over again. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know, now your antennas are up. You making sure that what we're doing is not something of the United States government.
Exactly.
And it's putting all of us in a trick bag.
Exactly. Yes, I feel you, and I totally agree. And those were my concerns, still are my concerns. But then I was meditating, I'll say it that way. And the assurance that came over is that there's going to be no more of that. No more of that. That because the prophetic period for the domination of other nations over the Kongo nation is ended. So even if it may seem like it, there won't be any gas in the tank. It won't take off. And so I'm going to clarify what I think I've come to an understanding of. Other nations coming into the Federation is not going to result in, you know, what we learned about especially in the United States, without throwing the topic off too much. But this is an important issue, especially as an African American, because all we know is treason and deception. And so this is a part of the Kongo culture that gets criticized. Kongo culture has a concept called Timuntu. And through the language, we are going to learn Timuntu. And it's basically how mankind should behave and act. And it's instilled in Kongo people from the time from way before, but in antiquity. what happened is as time went by and we migrated and we mixed with other nations, that concept got lost. And now it's everybody for themselves. And this is what we're undoing, the everybody for themselves. So what'll happen is that our culture will be where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the one on top. If you examine, because I do, you know, I don't teach social studies, but as a teacher, these people are my colleagues. So I kind of learn a little bit from them. If you study all nations in the world, you can actually see traces of the Kongo culture in all of them. That which is good came from us. And it was rebranded and manipulated and called something else. But originally, it all came from us. We are the originators of the humans on Earth. Everything came from us. And so basically, the Federation is taking it back. Unlike the other nations who like to conquer and wipe out, we won't be wiping out, but we will absorb. We will. So when other nations speak our language, they're under the Federation, not. So it's going to be like that. It's like, I might be talking too much, but it's a certain type of power, but it's not going to be a forceful power, but it's going to actually be more forceful than a forceful power. And it's backed by Tata Nzambi himself. So it's a good thing. And that's one of the things I've learned. And this is the reason why I'm taking the role that I'm taking right now in the Federation, because I'm finally getting it. Aha, I see what you up to. You up to something. And it's the way that should be. I have a personal belief that when Kongo people get back into their spot that they were created to be, the entire earth will come back into a form of peace. Not a form of peace. It will be peace on earth when we get back to our place. But as long as we're not in our place, the world will be chaotic, and we'll see what we're seeing right now.
Bring everything
So
back.
we out of our place, the world's off course.
Yes.
We get back in our place, and we get our place. And other nations will be with us, but they will be.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what's happening. And what we see in our beautiful motherland is that we're seeing what doesn't work. We're not in our place. We're not in our place politically. We're not in our place spiritually. We're not in our place financially. We're not in our place, period. And so I had to really understand this dream, this vision that was given by Mfumu Moyo. And now I can say, I understand, and I can line scriptures up with it and go, oh, I see. Bam. Now it makes sense. And what I do at work, the people that I come in contact with, when I give that, how I'm understanding it now, it's like, as I was talking to somebody, I started saying, oh, I understand now. I didn't even really understand the concept of a federation. Now I understand it completely. And now it's moving quick. It's moving so fast. Our heritage, we are the inheritance of that. We can share it without being manipulated. And I understand that was your concern. Why are we sharing? We don't have anything for even our own self. But now I'm seeing, oh, Tata Nzambi's worked out something that's not going to happen anymore. The cap is over. Then it's not going anywhere. And I was going to say something related to the chaos going on in the world, but I won't, because I don't want this video to come down. All I'll say is there will be chaos until we come back to where we need to be.
Correct.
And nothing's going to stop us, because when we come back, we're coming back as humans, as the whole concept, Timuntu, or in other versions of Kikongo, it's called Kimuntu.
Mm-hmm.
And in east of Africa, the Bantus there call it Ubuntu. It's the same concept, the togetherness, the way it should be. Nobody's ruling over anything. So that's what that federation is showing. In a way, the federation is going to be structured where it's Kimuntu and not a totalitarian dictatorship. It's the opposite of that. And Tata Nzambi wants us to be the examples for all mankind. And I was like, it actually felt like a fresh breath of air. We are going to show them how it is. This is how you be a human. This is how humans act. This is how people are supposed to do. You don't need to war at all. We can actually talk. And we're going to have our language back in place. We're going to start official, probably in the next few months. What we're just working on is how to teach the language with so many variants so that everybody can get a hold of it without, but I'm actually learning the variants at the same time. I didn't think I could do it, but you know, I'm learning. Mono is I, but in Ladi, they say meno for I. So I can introduce myself, Meno Ikana, that will work for Kiladi. But those who speak the San Salvador Kikongo would understand without having a problem. Meno, mono, they're synonyms. So they're kind of working that out right now, and I'm excited. I'm assisting as far as structure of learning language because I can do that really well, but I don't know Kikongo. I can do basics. So we're going to start at the basics. But here in our Zoom meeting, we're actually just doing teasings, sample tease. And today's proverb, I like it so much because I need that. I need to learn that, what we're learning. So I want to go back to it. But I love your questions because I had them all. I was like, what the heck is going on now? That's why this happened to us, because we keep and I was like, enough is enough. But then I was like, oh no, let them come in. But they're gonna come in. That's where you're coming in. You're coming in there, and we're here. And this is a government that's established. Get with it or get to stepping. Like, it's kind of like that. I'm doing my little Ebonics version of the Federation. Get with the program. It's a good program. It's Tatan Zambi's already sprinkled his perfume all over it. So I was like, yes, I like this. And I actually started using some of those techniques in my classroom subtly. And I was like, wow, this actually, what? This is like some subtle psychology, but it's Kimuntu. It's so cool. Sounds like, wow, you know, people steal all the time. And that kyaku kyaku kyangani kyangani, it's more than just somebody stealing something that doesn't belong to them. It's cultures that don't belong to you. Like, you're going to come under this. You're not going to come over it. You're going to come under. You're going to be a part of. We're going to break bread together. But, you know, they're going to know who's who, and we won't have to say anything because the where we are prophetically is going to speak for it. Like, the action is going to speak for itself. And so that's where my assurance came in for being a part of the Federation. And I said, it's so funny that you asked that. I asked the same exact question, but what about this? What about, you know, the people, I don't want to stay here the rest of my life. I want to get to stepping. I want to move. And so, oh, that's not where I wanted to be. We already seen him. The Federation has so much going on with it. That's where I want to be, right there. Okay. I'll be back in a second. And the two women speaking, it's the same thing. But I don't know if I can get myself. No, that's taking me too long. But they had a lot. I mean, it's the same concept. There's some people who are speaking Kikongo. So it's meant to motivate us to move into our. So let me show you guys this because I'm not showing you my screen. I'm manipulating buttons because I got more definition of kyaku kyaku kyangani kyangani. Near view slideshow. Okay. So what I got was, oh, there's ours for today. Let me get this explanation. What belongs to you is for you. Therefore, what doesn't belong to you isn't for you. This proverb also implies the meaning of don't steal people's things, don't envy them, for they work hard to own your property. So work hard for your, so basically work hard for your property, for what you want to own. It conveys a sense of honesty, respect, and dignity that are social life virtue requirements to Kongo people, reflecting Timuntu, a moral and ethical guiding philosophy concept encompassing all aspects of dignifying human beings, Muntu, behavior in life, to foster and ensure peace, love, and social safety. This is what the world lacks. So now, if we Congos reinstall this in human society, the earth will change. So, and it will change permanently. So that's prophetic. But because of Timuntu, other peoples got in, and they did do those mischievous things. But then if we look at prophecy, those things were allowed because of prophecy. Because I was battling with that too. I was so battling. I'm like, man, we keep softening up our borders. But then I thought, if Tatanzambi is who he is, the other people aren't more stronger than him. So he actually allowed it to happen. And now he's closing the door on that. Let's put my people back where they need to go. We done did our journey. Now we're coming full circle. We're going to put Timuntu back on earth. And it's coming. It's coming. And now that I've known the concept better, I'm like, oh, I like this. So now let's look at the one that we're learning today. And sorry, that's not as pretty as I want it to be. Wariampari, Mayela Mpimpa. Wariampari, Mayela Mpipa. Mpimpa. Sorry. My Kikongo speakers took their face off the chat, but they're in there. They're listening to me. And I'm feeling like, oh, let me not mess up. But let's look at the little translation. One eats in the morning. In other words, one has breakfast. Wisdom at night. So, it's basically saying that's a literal translation. We haven't gotten to its meaning yet. Wariampari, Mayelam Pimpa. I have it with me next to me, ready to explain. So it's so much more than one eats in the morning, breakfast at night. I'm going to get the meaning to you. What I understand as I'm searching is that basically it's saying, if you want a good breakfast, you need to prepare. This is a message that you give to people who see things that are already done and they go, wow, I like that. So someone could say to them, oh, you like that? You like that breakfast spread in the morning? Wariampari, Mayelam Pimpa. Now, Kongo speakers, I don't know if it's basically, it's like saying, you want a nice breakfast? You want something nice in life? It needs to be prepared. It needs to be, you need to organize yourself and so if you want something to happen, you want a business, figure out what it takes to prepare, and then you can have your business. Business represents your breakfast or what's finished already. I'm stalling so I can get it. I'm gonna get it for you. Meaning, all right, one can only have breakfast from prior preparations. That's what should be what you're looking at. One can only have breakfast from prior preparations. In other words, if you could not have anything in your kitchen last night, you would not be able to afford having something to eat in the morning. So to have something in your kitchen, in other words, to have food in your refrigerator, that requires a planning, that requires money, that requires, like, there's a whole bunch of planning involved in how do I get the money to go to the store to get the food so that in the morning I can have a nice breakfast. So breakfast is just a metaphor for the final product. Okay, so I was discussing, this is still explaining the proverb. I'll use my life as an example. I'm a Spanish teacher. I go to work, I teach Spanish, I come home. But for me, and this is what shocks people about me, I'm a Spanish teacher. I'm an African American. I am not a Latina. There are groups of people who are Black who speak Spanish. They're called Afro-Latinos. And many people think that I'm an Afro-Latino because I speak Spanish fluently. And what shocks people even more is I do not speak English at all to my children. I have 3 children. I speak to them only in Spanish. And what that did was it caused my children, who are now grown, I have 1 teenager left. I have a 16-year-old, I have a 19-year-old, I have a 34-year-old. And they are fluent speakers of Spanish. But when people see it, they go, oh, I want my kids to be fluent. Now I can say the proverb, Wariampari, Mayelang Pimpa. If you want that breakfast, you got to prepare. So I prepared. When I was pregnant with them, I spoke Spanish to them from the womb. So they speak English fluently because we live here in the United States. But I speak Spanish to them. I was only doing an experiment because I had, to get my master's degree in second language acquisition. I read an article on how to make a child bilingual. And basically in the article, it stated that if more than one language is spoken at the home and in the dominant language in society, so you don't speak the dominant language of society, which is English, you speak the minor language, which is at home. So I figured my kids were going to learn English outside of me. And they did. It was kind of scary at first because I didn't really know if this experiment would work. 19 years later, it works really well. Last night I went to go visit my college child, and we had a we were only talking in Spanish. Non-Latinas speaking Spanish, but so the proverb is Wadiampari, Mayelang Pimpa. So I did the preparations to create the bilingual child that people see today. It was not done overnight. So that's kind of another way to see it. So one can only have breakfast from prior preparations. And that's it. So this is going to be, imagine we want the diaspora to be fluent speakers of Kikongo. If we learn Kikongo fluently, even though maybe most of us have already had our kids, and maybe some of us don't have kids, but if you know someone who has a daycare and then you invited to be that Kongo fluent speaker to teach them, those babies will grow up speaking fluent Kikongo. It's going to be inundated. And then just like these proverbs, they're not only going to speak Kikongo, but they're going to learn Kimuntu at the same time. And then that child will not be a menace to society because the Kimuntu philosophy will have been downloaded in their hard drives of their system. So this is the great thing about our Kikongo culture. So let me put the phrase back and let's practice it. And hopefully we have our Kongo brothers who haven't left us, because we got to learn this. As adults, we missed it, but it's not too late. They say adults can't learn foreign language. Nope, that's not true. I learned Spanish as a teenager, late in my teens, and the research said that if you don't learn as a child, then you won't gain native-like fluency, and you won't sound like a native speaker. I speak Spanish fluently, and people don't even believe me that I say I'm African American. You're what? Yes, I'm African. Yo hablo español como si fuera mi propio idioma. I speak Spanish as if it's my own language because I owned it. So now I'm saying to you guys, let's own Kikongo. Too much time has passed that we don't have our language, and now let's get it back. Let's do our proverb. And imagine the proverb is just a tease. Kikongo lessons are coming. Wadiampari, Mayelang Pimpa. Wadiampari, Mayelang Pimpa.
No, Wadiapari, I go to say, no, Snella. Wadiapari.
Wadiapari.
Voilà, lokola Paris. Wadiapari, Mayelang Pimpa. The rest is good, but the first sentence is Wadiapari. You can repeat.
Wadiapari. Let's repeat, guys. Wadiapari.
Wadiapari.
Good. Wadiapari. Wadiapari kina Kikongo because we speak Lari and Congo, but in Lari is Wadiapari.
Wadiapari.
Mayelang Pimpa. Okay.
Mayelang Pimpa.
Right.
Wadiapari, Mayelang Pimpa.
Excellent.
Is it Mayala or Mayale?
Mayela.
Mayela is slim. No, in English. Bon, je connais pas bien l'anglais. Wadiapari, traduction. I will to translate. si tu manges le matin, if you eat, hein, si tu manges le matin, c'est que tu as prévu ça la nuit. In tonight, you go to take something, and tomorrow morning you will to eat. So if you eat the morning, you have take something tonight. Wajapari mayela pimpa.
Mayela Pimpa.
Mayela Pimba.
Yes. Wadiapari.
Waria-
Mayela Pimpa.
Wajapari mayela pimpa.
Wadiapari. Mayela Pimpa.
Maria Pimba.
Good.
Wow.
Oh. Wadiapari. Mayela Pimpa.
Mayela Pimba.
Pimpa.
Pimba.
Yes.
Hmm.
Wadiapari. Mayela Pimpa. Yes. We're going to practice, and this will go into, I think the Mbuta Moyo, Mfumu Moyo already put it in our chats. So it's going to go with the audio. And I thank our Mbuta for helping us with the Kikongo. This is
Yes,
also
yes.
a form of brotherhood. Thank
Yes.
you. Ntondele.
Woo.
Ntondele Kikilu, Ntondele Kwakwinki. Ntondele Kwakwinki for helping us with the Kikongo. We need help. The American diaspora, help. We lost our language, we lost our culture. So now we're getting it back phrase by phrase, proverb by proverb. Wadiapari, Mayelang Pimpa. I heard a little rolling of the R with a pari.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I hear the
Wadiapari,
rolling.
Mayelang Pimpa. I can do that because it's Spanish. But he didn't roll so much. He just sounded like a pari.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Pari.
Wadiapari, Mayelang Pimpa. Mayela Mpimpa. What I was
Mayela.
saying to our brethren, sometimes they speak so fast. We need
Yes.
we need to slow you. Y'all need to slow your roll. Slow your roll, because Americans, we're not used to multi-syllabic words. This is just some housekeeping. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done it. There is a profile form that I need to open up so that everybody can start filling it out. I put it in the chat, but I'll put it back there again. Invite new people to our next meeting. We're going to have a new proverb the next time. Please apply if you're willing to help it grow by taking leadership roles. So like what I'm doing with this meeting, this is not like, let me get that. I got to be the leader. No, I don't need to be the leader. I got a classroom and they keep me busy. I'll say it like that. I got to keep it positive, because what if one of my students end up watching this YouTube video years from now? I love you guys, my future students and my students from the past. I love all of you guys. Senora Breen, that's what they call me, because my government name is Lisa Breen. Thank you for attending this English group. It's a pleasure to see you guys all again. And welcome to those who are here for the first time. Bienvenidos a los... Oh, darn, Spanish. Gizambote. Spanish meeting is next week. If you speak Spanish, you are more than welcome to come to next week's meeting. Our next meeting, look at that, December the 3rd. And I was going to make some silly, see how much brainwash? I was about to sing a jingle for the holidays, but I had stopped myself. Nope, we ain't going there. Stop. I still have to rechannel my mind. See how I know. I'm feeling you, Muta Makailo. Oh boy, we have a lot of ingrained stuff, and I've been awakened for 7 years now, and it still comes. Sometimes I have to take images out of my mind, because I'm like, oh my God, that's powerful stuff. I'm tired of it. So I'm learning kikongo with a force and a vengeance. Okay, so these are a look of what we learned already. Yenge, mbote, and all of these have audio files with it. So if I clicked on them, you could hear them all. Yeah, mbote kiaku. Kia mbote kieno. And then the proverb from last week.
Now, did you add the meanings to them as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But if I'm going to check and make sure, I'm saying
Okay.
that quickly. I don't know. And these are the two variants. So some people say kiangani, kiangani, and some people say kiangana, kiangana. It's the same thing. So with the variants, you're just going to basically see letter changes and stuff.
Yeah.
Awe Siemi, Awe Nu Siemi, that would be Congo from Angola. And then other people say Awe Lu Siemi with an L. Nu Siemi, I did learn sign language. Nu Siemi, Lu Siemi is the same thing. Basically, in abundance. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you doing? Okay, so and then we have social media. I'm going to go back to I just want to make sure I'm covering all the things. And these are the links. This link is the card, the information. The only person on there still is me, which means I probably need to, when you do Google, it has a lock on it. And if you don't unlock it, no one can get in there and type. So that's probably what I forgot to do, unlock it. So when you get to this card, I'll show it to you right now. Click. See, there's me. So everybody in the Federation will fill this out. Name. Am I on the English one? Yes. This is the English one, but there's a French one. Si parle français. Nom de familia, origin. My French is terrible. Langue, genre, profession. I'm not even going to try. There's one in Spanish. And I put my name down there so you could see it. I'll probably change the font because that's kind of like dicey. But basically your name, your surname, the country you're from. Oh, why is that in Spanish? Oh my goodness. Gender. Hembra is Spanish for female. Occupation. I'm a Spanish teacher. Talents. I'm an artist. I'm 53 years old. There's my email. Social media. I am on Facebook and Instagram, and that's my phone number. So everybody will fill that out. And the product that we want in the end, what we want is a card so we can say we're members of the Federation officially. So that by the time it's we have a 501c3, we can actually have membership cards, and that will put legitimacy. Like this is a legitimate group.
Oh, you said something about the key or something that you was going to show us the type, that we got to hit in order to type.
Oh, yes. In this. Okay, yeah, let me go back. So I'm going to go back. Can you guys still see that?
Yes.
Okay, so say my name is Bob. So my cursor is in this corner, and this is the name column. So my name is Bob, B-O-B. Now, but Bobo. Spanish Bobo means silly. My name is Bobo. So Bob. And this column is last name, surname, Bob Jones.
But was it something that you had to hit in order for us to be able to type? Because when I tried before, I wasn't able to type anything.
Let me see how I have it shared.
I think you said that you went back and you corrected or did something that we should.
Yes, I have it as anyone with the link can share, and I have everybody as editors, which means everybody can type. Like y'all can actually literally go in here right now, and we can all be typing at the same time.
Okay. All right.
So Bob Jones, and then so what you're gonna do is you're jumping. I don't know if can you guys see my cursor?
Mm-hmm.
You can jump from cell to cell, and as soon as you're in a cell, you should be able to type. Yep.
Now, as far as name,
I'm using my Kikongo name.
okay.
That's a private thing.
Okay.
I'm actually considering changing my name legally to my Kikongo name. But for now, that's sort of like to keep for privacy settings. Like the phone number is mine. I was leery about putting that, but then I'm like, everybody in WhatsApp can see each other's phone number. Otherwise, so I figured out what the heck. I'll put my phone number, Instagram. I didn't put my Instagram. I put that I'm on Instagram.
Mm.
So, and Facebook and WhatsApp and TikTok. Yeah, I am on TikTok. I forgot about that. TikTok. Talents. What did I put? Oh, this is what I did was I copied and pasted from Spanish. I'm a calligrapher, I'm a drummer, singer, dancer, teacher, etc., all that stuff. And then Spanish teacher is my occupation, and then I'm also a Zumba fitness instructor as well. Just got relicensed. And get our people in shape. Stop eating the fried chicken. I'm joking. Sorry, I didn't say that. Let me be quiet before I get myself in trouble. You can have your fried chicken. I'm just not going to eat it with you, but I'll sit at the table with you while you have your fried chicken. My family is very diverse. We eat all kinds of things. So it should be available for us to type. I'll put it back in the chats today. I was looking at that, so I found it. So we are here. We're about to close. And I always hate to close because I always love to see a family's face together. This, I don't know if you guys know how powerful it is for people to come on YouTube and see the family is together and we're all over the place. I'm seeing my brother Tony down there holding it down. Tony, gracias. Ntondele Kiki Lu, Ntondele Kwakwingi for being there. And we got our and we have our brother where everybody's face is. Because some people turn off their camera. Sister Valerie, Sister Jacqueline, hola. Yeah, there she is. Epa. Wepa is Spanish for like, woo, wepa. In Puerto Rican Spanish, we like to say that a lot.
Epa, epa.
Epa, vamos a terminar pronto, estamos cerrando. Pero,
así escucho de que les está diciendo ya bye, bueno.
Exacto.
Okay. Muchas gracias.
A la orden.
Kiangara.
Ingeta. Y gracias en Kikongo, tú puedes decir matondo.
Matondo.
O puedes decirlo como un verbo conjugado. Ntóndele. 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 Thank you. Ntóndele. Exacto.
Okay.
Eso es, yo te agradezco.
Escribo. Sí, ajá.
¿Sí? Yo te agradezco.
Claro. Ya, el otro también, tóndole, te agradecemos, ¿no? Túndolele.
Te agradecemos tu tóndele.
Tu tóndele, ajá, te agradecemos.
Te agradecemos.
Y lo que es sabona.
Sabona, eso no es kikongo, eso es otro idioma bantú. Eso es,
ya.
Sí.
Es algo de yo te respeto, para mí eres importante, nos decías, ¿no? Pero es otro idioma.
Es otro idioma, sí.
Ya,
Sabona es como
para
yo te veo.
tenerlo sabona, ajá.
Sabona es Zulu, eso es Zulu.
Ya
Zulu
es
de Sudáfrica.
Sí. Ya.
Sí, del tribu Zulu.
Ya.
Pero acá, Kikongo sería Kiambote Kiaku, Kiambote Kieno. O Yenge.
Yenge, ajá.
Bote.
Ajá.
Los dos son como hola.
Sí, ajá. Sí, yo tengo anotado y tengo que seguir practicando.
Y voy a
Gracias por permitirme escuchar las clases en inglés.
Perfecto. Y ojalá que ellos vengan en español. She's saying thanks for allowing her to come into the English group. So we are glad she's here. And one day we won't have to have division. It's supposed to be one group. For anyone who's new to the new to the Federation, it was one group. And sadly,
it's my English is so.
It's okay.
It's not very good. It's not very good. Only so.
It's okay. We're gonna learn Kikongo.
It's very important. It's very important. The sailing. Okay.
Yes.
Sí. Okay.
Ingeta.
Okay. Ingeta.
Afirmación.
Sí. Ajá. Ingeta. Cana, entonces nosotros en español nos vemos el próximo domingo.
Ingeta.
Sí,
exacto.
Ingeta. Voy también a redactar las clases, los objetivos de la organización y todo esto para tenerlos un poco más claro y también conversar un poco al respecto de eso.
Sí.
¿Ya? Ahora te escuché en inglés y estuve revisándolos en español y haciendo las comparaciones, ¿no?
Exacto. Y lo que usted vio en este grupo es lo que vamos a hacer en nuestro grupo en español. So, lo
Sí,
único que voy a
ajá.
hacer es traducir todo en español y vamos a tener el grupo en español.
Sí, tú nos diste en español. Entonces es cuestión de memorizar esos objetivos sobre todo y en lo que vamos a trabajar y la misión y la visión.
Ingeta.
Ingeta, yeah. Ok,
Ingeta.
compañeros, muchísimas gracias.
She's saying-
Muchísimas gracias.
she's-
Me
Ujú.
retiro, Cana, ¿sí? Ok.
Exacto. No,
Ok.
okay. Salakiambote.
Sí, Kiambote.
Beautiful. So she just left and she was saying goodbye to all of us. So I'm thanking all of you guys for coming. Ntondele Kikilu. I like the word Kikilu. I know all variants don't use Kikilu, but very much. Thank you guys very much for being here, for coming. I see those of you guys whose cameras off. Shout out Brother Thambwe. Shout out Allison, you're here. And shout out Sister Patrice and Brother Thony. Brother Thony, you gave us a different name. What's your Kongo name? Your name in Congo. Mbuta Thony. Nkumbu aku nani. Nkumbu aku nani. Your microphone. Your microphone is mute. He's talking. He doesn't know he's muted.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Kumbame Valuala.
Valuala. Ah,
Valuala.
yes.
Voilà. Valuala.
Okay, so Nkumbu aku Valuala.
Valuala.
Valuala. Yeah. So our brother.
Valuala Kavamen.
Valuala Kavamen.
Voilà.
Yes. I know I butchered some of that up. He's trying to be nice to me. Okay, guys.
Monongina Kubelishika.
Monongina, I am Kubelishika. Oh, Belgic.
Kubelishika, oui.
Belgic.
Ah,
Nice.
Oui.
I'm learning some more Kikongo there.
Et Itukidi come from Itukidi Kongo Kinshasa.
Itukidi.
I come from Kinshasa.
Yes.
Kinshasa.
yeah, I got that.
Voilà.
Itukidi. That's I come from. Oh, I gotta write that
Yeah,
down.
man.
Itukidi, America.
Itukri, America.
Itukidi. Oh, I'm loving this. Itukidi,
Matanda
Itukidi.
Masaka. Thank you, Kana.
Ikiesekiame. You are my pleasure. Ikiesekiame. Yes. What a great family. Okay.
Wenda Kiambote.
Nusara Kiambote.